Good evening, everyone. Welcome to tonight's Voice from the Baltic Star. Ewan just said yep, hasn't realised we're live. Wonderful. Very professional. You may see that Ewan is just a graphic today, and that's because he is at a family house and the internet is poor. So we're short on faces tonight, but we're big on love, and we hope that you'll appreciate us being here, at least live. You can listen to the voices, which is what you're here for most of the time anyway. And thank you so much for joining us. It's Saturday night, and Saturday night means... a delay. Oh, this is going to be difficult. Saturday night means we roleplay, and we don't do Traveller. We do other stuff, and that is very thrilling indeed. And tonight we're doing part 2 of something we started last week, which is the roleplay game Fimbria, which is published by the wonderful Soul Muppet Games and designed by Giuliano Roverato, which is... wonderful. Actually, yeah, you delaying just makes you awkward, just like your character. Perfect. So we're going to play Fimbria. We'll see how it goes, especially if there's internet problems. Could be interesting, but we'll see how we go with it.
It's very 90s.
The pictures should be like cutting up a lot more. Sort of, Ben gets frozen in a position for 20 minutes as his mouth sort of like... There's a bit of delay. Yeah. We are using a modem from the 90s today. It took me 20 minutes to log on. I had to
can't find a dial tone. Get off the phone!
Get off the phone. Quick. How many hours have we got left on this AOL disc? 2.5, that'll be enough. I've only got to download 3 pictures. I think I can manage it.
We're so old.
Oh, beautiful. That's the joy of this game. It's why it's exciting, and we're so glad to be playing it and sharing it with you, dear viewers. If it's your first time, you are very welcome. We'll do a couple of hours or so tonight, depending on internet and such like. So please feel free to hang around for as long or as short as you wish. We shall take a break at some point in the middle, so feel free to save up any need to leave the computer or your phone until that point and that point only. But if you want to leave after 5 minutes, you do what you want to do.
You're really bossy tonight, Luke.
I'm feeling it. I told you already. I'm feeling it. So I was singing and everything. I'm very... No. It's because I know how the 3 of you are going to die brutally tonight, and I'm looking forward to it. Anyway, feel free to chat or don't.
Samantha survives.
Well, we'll try and do. We'll try and see what we can get out of it. Rockfrog, that's absolutely fine. You, like I say, if you fall asleep with us. That I love that very much. So just imagine. We like to think that the Baltic Star is like the big rainbow bed, or like the Morecambe and Wise bed, and that you've all snuggled up in with us this evening, and we're all just telling a story together until you drift off. It's all very lovely like that.
This is an unexpected direction to go in. I got to be honest.
We're going to call it a big platonic loving. We're having a big platonic loving tonight, and I'm here for it, even if the rest of you aren't. I've locked the doors. Right. The window's been left open, of course, for Ben, because Ben always needs a window open. Anyway, so feel free to chat, join in, get involved in the story if you want. You might change my mind on things if you bring up something better than I was going to do. Just chat amongst yourselves. We'll chat with you as well. Do a bit of that. There's the red sun tonight. You can spend your points. We've got a couple of different options from last time. What have we got? Because Socks is here tonight, we've got Socks' theme song, which is very exciting.
Oh, yeah.
It's a bit long. Oh, who's done it again?
See? Thank you, and I stand you too.
It's a horror game, so we've also got...
Get to the chopper!
So you can encourage someone to get to the locker and hide. Otherwise, it's the usual sort of stuff. Ben's night off, so we can make him drink, which is always good as well. Where's Ben's night off? We like that song because it's the Venga Boys. Now, nuclear winter. This is backfired very quickly.
It's all going brilliantly so far, Luke. Well done.
Is De Greyhill gone? Oh, Gamer Sledge. Hey, how you doing? I'll put De Greyhill back on. Sorry.
Hey, Gamer.
How you doing, man? You all right? Life good? Nuclear winter here as well.
Man.
There's a good old posse in tonight. Some of my favourite people. Grey Hill's on. There we go. Any others that are interesting? No, it's not Tony and Rudy, so we can't do that. I think that's about it. Beard's got his
We
Ben's
could have
got his
an
beard back.
honorary Spez.
An honorary. I think Spez is always on these days because I just like it too much.
Nice.
There it is. Sparrow approves. To Grey Hill. Game search to Grey Hill. Yeah. So these are the reasons why we don't get monetized on YouTube. Every single video I put up tells me we're not allowed to be monetized because we play stupid clips of music. Every time it pings up, I'm like, oh, not that we've got many followers on YouTube, mostly on here. But anyway, I'm not really future-proofing us very well. I'm sorry, dear friends, when we don't make any money out of this. Anyway, yeah, so click the red sun if you want, up to you. It's a joy to have you with us. We've got Gamers Ledge, we've got Nuclear Winter, we've got Kells, we've got our new best friend, old Rock Frog 73. There's a lot of fun here, and if you are just lurking, we love you too. Yeah, Patreon's probably a good idea. So, with no further adieu, let's introduce some people. I'm the editor-in-chief today. Hello. I'm feeling super powerful, and that's why I'm in a good mood. I'm in a better mood when I know what's going to happen, and a worse mood when Ben's in charge.
Is what's going to happen? You get scared and run away, and then go, "Oh no, sorry, it was the phone. I couldn't get in the door. It got misty." Wow. Is that what's going to happen?
Yeah, basically, we'll go into it.
Cool.
But he saw a hot tub around the corner that was turned on and hot, and he thought, screw this for a game of soldiers, I'm going to get bubbly. Next to me, in voice alone tonight, which is very sad for me, because no one can see that my brother from another mother, who is the housewife's favourite, truly is a magnificent Floofmeister General. But he's still here. He is Ewan. Good evening, Ewan. How are you?
Hi, Luke. Thank you very much. I'm good. Thanks. Although somewhat not.
Oh, God, your internet's terrible.
Mostly on here.
Oh, I think we might have to kill Gary off early. I think. Poor old Ewan. Are you still here, Ewan? Oh, dear.
Give him a second.
Okay. We'll move on to other people. We'll come back to him. Up next is a true friend of the channel. She lives her life with her window wide open, waiting for the arrival of her knight in shining turtleneck. She is... she's munching her way through a whole load of Indian food right now. She is Socks Fiddler. Good evening, Socks. How are you?
Hello. I'm good. How are you?
Good.
I'm saying everything twice. I think it makes me more interesting.
It certainly makes the stream last longer.
Thanks.
You're welcome. How's the kitchen? Socks has got a new kitchen, everyone, and it's looking rather lovely.
I got a new kitchen. It feels like when I go in there, I make it more scruffy. It's that nice. I don't feel like I'm qualified to be in there yet. I've got to fuck it up a bit. Yeah.
Good. I'm glad, and I think I'm very glad that your kitchen's coming on well. It does look beautiful, and I think there's nobody deserves it more than you.
Oh, thanks. I mean, I have had to move things away from the window so Ben can come in without falling over or anything and making a big sound in the night and upsetting the dog. But you know, I've sent him a map. He should be fine.
He'll be absolutely fine. He knew it anyway. He knew. Yeah. So, Socks, your character tonight is a very interesting character, and I would like to know more about your character all over again. I'd like to know their name. I'm gonna go Scylla. What's your name? Where do you come from? What do you do? What are your qualities? What are your inspirations, etc.?
Would you like me to do it as Hugh or on behalf of Hugh?
I think everyone would like you to do it as Hugh.
All right, you prick. Well, my name's... Stop it, Ben! I hear you laugh and I can't do it anymore. my name's Hugh. I'm a typist, and I've lost Margaret, but I love her, and she's got some new shoes, and she should be all right. I've got a very long reach. I can get things from a surprising long way away without moving. I look a bit like Paul Gambaccini, 90s broadcasting legend. I can tell you exactly when your dairy products are going to go off, and I know what your star sign is as long as I'm on the air guitar singing like Eddie Vedder. Yeah.
And so this is what this game is like. We've got an Eddie Vedder air guitar and Paul Gambaccini lookalike, milk sniffing, long armed, dangerous typist with a fetish for his typewriter.
It's not a fetish, mate. It's love.
So, okay, sorry. What's the word again for love of something that isn't alive? What did we work that out as?
Mechanophilia, but she's got heart. Don't write wrong.
I'd say we might.
Ed's just going to keep doing that. You should know. That's not going to stop.
we shouldn't type writer off, I think. That's why I ages for that. So it didn't land. Next up. Right, that's enough of that. Let's move on to something far more serious. Let's talk to the smartest man in any room, who does indeed, as Rockfrog realised very quickly, live his entire life in the Twin Peaks dream sequence, except for those evenings where he dons his black turtleneck, grabs a box of his favourite chocolates, sneaks out into the night and clambers through the windows of women up and down the country, especially Sox's, to leave his special chocolatey deposits all over their drawers.
And all because the lady loves milk tray.
It is Ben. Good evening, Ben. How are you?
I'm well, thank you. I'm well. Yep. Much looking forward to this. This was mad last week when we played it, and I'm expecting increasing madness.
Good. I feel like we've started as we mean to go on, quite frankly. How are you doing anyway, Ben? It's been ages since I've seen you.
It's been a while, hasn't it? My word, that does seem to have been nearly 24 hours.
I was getting withdrawal symptoms, mate, to be honest. It's just lovely to see your face again.
And yours, sir, and yours. And the guns, of course. Always nice to see the guns.
The summer's here now. The guns are out full time.
Absolutely.
Speaking of powerful, lubed up people, tell us about yourself. Well, and your character.
Okay, my character's name is Mick Turing. He is a wrestler when he's not doing investigative journalism. He is a dangerous wrestler by all accounts, mostly, as it turns out, to himself, but nonetheless a dangerous wrestler. His talents include the flawless recreation of various accents. He can crack nuts in the crook of his elbow. He can fall safely because he's a wrestler. And he has a knack for solving crossword puzzles.
He's a truly multi-talented man, and I think the team is far safer by having him there.
I feel that's almost true.
Now, the one person who wishes they were a bit safer now, if he is back on the line, and I've done the intro anyway, so we'll go straight to the character, is Gary Gutman. Gary, are you there? I feel like I'm in Eurovision. Hello, Faversham calling. Gutman, are you there? Oh.
Hello.
Oh,
I don't know.
We have him.
Oh, it is like he's answering.
Hello, this is Latvia calling.
I was about to say, it sounds like he's answering from Riga in the 90s. Hello. Oh, God. Oh, this is painful. Oh, Gary Gutman.
I think you leaned all the way too far into tonight's theme, Ewan. I think you're going too hard with the cosplay here.
Oh, why don't you tell us a bit? If you're still there, why don't you tell us a bit about your character? If you're not, it don't matter because you've been killed anyway, so we can just talk about the other two. Are you there, Gary? He's not. I'll tell you what. It's all right. We've split the party anyway, so we can always worry about these two, and Ewan can come and go as he feels he can, I guess. And and makes it even more mysterious. So it's okay. Are we okay with that? Are we going to power on with the 2 that we've got? And Gary can come and go as he feels he can?
Yeah.
We'll give it a shot.
Oh, good. Okay, yeah, so that's what we're going to do. Don't worry, because you've been split and I've got an idea already. So you're all good. And you can return powerfully and emotionally at some point, either this time or next time around. Do not worry. Join us, Ewan. Stick with us. Be all you can be. Maybe you typing can be like talking to them from not the afterlife, you're not dead yet, but from like through the
Ewan
ethers.
is bloke in the 90s Gillette advert. That's who he is.
Oh, this is a whole new realm of streaming. There is that. He's got, see, look, he's physically gone, but spiritually he's still with us. Ewan, Gary Gutman, are you there? Ping 3 times if you're there. Okay, so should we get started? It's been absolutely ages. Should we go?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Mick, you there?
I am.
Hugh, you there?
All right, mate. Yeah.
Excellent. All right. Chapter 2. Did I choose the right reporters to follow up on tall, sleeping bag, homeless Gary's lead? It turned out my homeless contact may have been right on the money with his tip-off tonight. I just hoped that he was okay, huddled up, zipped up, self-contained in his sleeping bag, under the bench, while that accursed mist swirled all around. If anyone was used to the nightmarish horrors and how to stay kinda sane amidst them, then it was probably him. Chugging 6 cans of special brew in quick succession every night probably helped him pass out before the eerie mist rolled in and brought the nightmarish creatures and unexplainable happenings with it. It hadn't always been like this. Back in the 80s, at the height of my drug, party and woman-fueled hedonism, I was a celebrated and powerful editor at a major national newspaper. I won't say which one, but I'll give you a clue. It's now run by an international owner who has found every offshore tax haven to avoid ever paying what they owe and does what they want without any ramifications. That hasn't really narrowed it down at all, really, but it's one of those. One night, that famous red meteor appeared, streaking across the sky. Everything changed from that very moment. Unexplainable events, the unnatural mists settling in countrysides all around the UK, drifting into towns and cities, twisting reality and bringing with it nightmare creatures, supernatural events, fear, panic, madness, death, and a change to our way of life that has continued with increasing severity into the present day. We're in the 90s. Well, at least I think we are. I lost track of the months and years sometime after the powers that be silenced the media, locked up all those who investigated the mist and leaned on those who spoke about the happenings. Instead, we had to bury ourselves in the day-to-day to enjoy all that the 90s have musically, the films, TV, fashion, technology. As long as the second those haunting sirens wail out every evening, we have to shutter our shops, leave our desks, jump in the car for our short commutes home, lock ourselves into our homes before the mist creeps into the towns from where it waits all day in the countryside. Our best chance at sanity is to lock the doors, pull the curtains, and turn our TVs on loud. Watch Top of the Pops, Crystal Maze, Neighbours, EastEnders, Red Dwarf, Father Ted, men behaving badly, anything, as long as you focus on the screen. Or the CD Walkman blaring in your ears, or the microwave heating up your meal. Just don't look out into the mist. Don't open the door. Whatever you do, don't leave the house. My problem was that always I have never been very good at being told what to do. I always wanted to get to the bottom of whatever I've been told to leave alone. It's why I got fired from the paper. It's when I refused to stop running pieces on the unholy mist. It was why I moved here to Newton Rising, famous only for having the country's largest Gary population, setting up my own underground magazine, Fimbria. As was why I used up the last of my favours to pull strings with the local authorities to not get closed down. It was why I left the comfort of my house, TV and curtains almost every night to follow leads and investigate the creepy, unnerving and sometimes terrifying goings-on in the town. Over the years, I put together a crack team of investigative reporters. Fortunately, all with other proper jobs, so that I didn't have to pay them much myself. This afternoon, I'd called 3 of them, 3 of the best and cheapest, to follow tall, sleeping bag, homeless Gary's lead. He told us that the manager of Woolworths had gone missing. They had been replaced by an out-of-towner. But the town he had apparently been brought in from had never heard of him. He told us that a lot of the sale assistant staff were new. They seemed more vacant and less organised than usual. Most seriously of all, he told us that the pick and mix wasn't being restocked and that seasonal shelves weren't being switched over, most unlike the Woolies we knew and loved. With the mist creeping in and the wail of the warning sirens dying out for the night, my 3 reporters led the way. I'd stepped forward to join them, but suddenly the door had slammed shut behind them, supernaturally locking shut, leaving them trapped inside the store in the darkness, the shutters over the windows preventing an easy and obvious exit. Then the mist did its thing. I found myself face to face with the unthinkable horrors, ghastly apparitions, the fear of the past, present and future, and I had to run. And run I did, away from the mist, taking brief cover in a telephone box and trying to contact my reporters. I briefly got through, telling them I'd meet them out by the loading bay, before a dark, demonic voice cut in. My line went dead. They had one chance to escape the clutches of the mist now, and I had to make sure I was there for them. I won't tell you now who told me of what happened in those first few moments, for want of killing the suspense, but it certainly sounds as though my 3 heroes suffered great emotional and mental strain after getting locked inside. I heard tale of foam bananas in the pick and mix, suddenly showing themselves as a terrifying swarm of multi-eyed creatures crawling up arms out of their bowl resting place. I heard of a torch, assuredly developed a vast mouth, closing in around a wrist in a moment of intense terror, before, heart hammering in chest, a second look revealed it. And as with the sweetie critters, it was perhaps only a momentary illusion. There were shadow creatures, always lurking out of focus, stalking our heroes from the edge of their eye line, as they armed themselves with a swing ball, a child's plastic kazoo, torch, disposable camera, and a pair of kiddies' shoes for a typewriter of all things. Typists can be an interesting bunch. My phone call in to the checkout desk did cause some brief consternation before they answered, but of more concern was the deep hellish voice that threatened and warned them after it cut my contact off. Our 3 next looked to the door through to the office, their next step towards the staff room, storeroom, and loading room, with our meeting point beyond. Yet, however they walked into the room, they found themselves walking straight out again, as if the doorway itself was a cursed portal. It was our sign-twirling gold buyer who figured out, after seeing the door glowing an unworldly hue through the camera's viewfinder, that it was indeed jinxed, and in an experiment to throw first an item and then throw himself through, proved successful. The typewriter launched in afterwards by herself, or perhaps flung by the typist, it's hard to say. But as 2 of the 4 enjoyed the moment of big brain success, the room suddenly flickered into darkness, with shadowy creatures surrounding them, and the door slammed shut, leaving the typist and wrestler in the store itself, and the gold buyer and typewriter one step closer to possible escape, but perhaps also in the very clutches of the evil, dark soul of the mist. A wise time for a group hug. Let's pause with a group hug. There was a moment for Mick and Hugh after the door shut, when suddenly, inexplicably, the aircon in store flicked on, giving the rest of a stream a low aircon-y buzz, because we're very thematic here. They heard a scuffle, a shout, a cry, the knocking over of items perhaps from behind the door, and then silence. And then suddenly the door swang open, the lights flickered on, and they were left face to face with an empty staff room. Mick, Hugh, it's over to you.
Is Margaret all right?
I gotta look.
Got to get the door open. There's something going on the other side. Quick question: the door opens inward or outward from our perspective?
The door opens. Oh, that's a good question. It would open outward, so towards you.
Okay. So there's some kind of handle, I assume.
Yep.
Gonna grab hold and try and twist and pull and yank on said door.
I did just say it opened. It opened by itself. The lights seem to flicker on, and
Oh right, sorry. Can we see through the opening then?
you can see through the opening. From what you can see, and you can probably see about 30% of the room from the angle you're in, but that 30% appears to be empty of beings, like living beings or typewriters, and a few boxes have sort of been knocked onto the floor.
I've got to find her. You don't know. She's completely vulnerable without me.
I believe you. I'm gonna try, if I can. Can I put my hands on each side of the door frame, like with my fingers through the other side?
You can, and you're going to look incredibly cool doing that because you look like you're right out of a 50s movie or something, man. That's a proper strong look, just leaning in. Before you do that, I need all three of you to make a nightmare roll, please. That includes
okay.
that includes you, and in chat, he doesn't get away with it because you've witnessed something supernatural and weird and creepy. You
So remind me, I'm doing it's 1d6, yes?
1d6, and if it's higher than your current nightmare state, you need to let me know. Yes, please, Ewan.
Mine is higher than my current nightmare state.
Mine is higher than my current nightmare state. It's a 5.
You both need to add +1 to your state, which I think gives you both 2. Is that correct?
That
No,
takes
Hugh's
me to
on
2.
3.
Hugh's on 3.
Hugh's on 3 now. Yeah.
You're already using a nightmare dice, aren't you?
Yeah. The first roll I make, like when I make a roll, the first number that comes up is considered the nightmare one.
That's correct. So Gary has gone up to 2 and Mick has gone up to 2. So you're both going to need to pick up a nightmare dice for when you make checks. That helps you,
Okay.
but if the nightmare dice is the highest roll, it also makes you even more unhinged, if that makes sense. And when you hit 6, your nightmares are going to start haunting you and hunting you down.
Hugh slumps to his knees, palms on the floor, head drops, just weeps. He's just helplessly weeping like a small child whose dog has just died. He is bereft.
Mick, as you step forward and put your hands on the frame, is that to look through like you're the Fonz or something?
Me?
No, Mick. Sorry, Mick, you're leaning on the door frame like the Fonz. Are you looking through into it as Hugh sobs behind you?
My fingers made it through okay without being like pushed back.
Yeah, into your hands.
So I'm going to try and lever myself through the door, peering around as I go.
Okay, as long as your feet, I guess, stay in your feet are staying in the main room as it stands. They haven't crossed the.
Yeah, that's why I'm bracing myself on the door frame.
As you look through, you can see the room is empty, but there are signs of a great struggle. It appears that whatever happened here, Gary Gutman and Margaret were not taken, or whatever happened to them, without a fight. The computer.
What about the swing ball?
The swing ball is still there, round the corner, because that was thrown in. There's a number of boxes on the floor, and but it's we said they were last week. We said they were boxes that would have had stock in, yeah. But it's what you see, Mick, is not stock that you'd expect. It's not classic Woolworths stock. It's not take that singles for 99p or more plastic.
You
kazoos.
did say that there was extra pick and mix out there. You did say pick and mix.
There was pick and mix. Yeah, there are the boxes of pick and mix,
Mhm.
but the ones that have been knocked over. Mick, could you make a test for me, please? From where you are, you can sort of see some of the things that have fallen, and you can look at that. But I need you to roll. So you get 1d6 for your vocation, which you won't get. You get 1d6 for your style, which is dangerous, which you're not going to get. Accents, cracking nuts, falling safely. No, you're not going to get that. So you get 1d6 plus your nightmare d6, please.
Okie dokie. 1d6 plus nightmare d6. I'm using brown for the colour of nightmares for obvious reasons. And
Very fitting.
okay, that's a total of a 6, but it's the nightmare one, and a 2.
Well, six is good because that succeeds. You need to add 1 to your nightmare. Your nightmare is ramping up now, so you're up to 3.
Up to 3.
Yeah. At 4, you'll get another nightmare dice. So more chance of success, but more chance of nightmare. But you are able to see in the boxes, and it appears to be one appears to have like ears in it, like severed ears that have spilled out, slightly blooded severed ears. One appears to have just like maggots in it. There's a few crawling around. And worst and most terrifyingly of all, one appears to have Bewitched's new single. A load of them.
Say la vie. That one.
Yeah.
Say you will, say you won't. And then words I don't know.
Gonna yell back to Hugh. Pick and mix selection is taking a dive. And
it's all going wrong. Margaret, the pick and mix.
Yeah. I think they sell earrings in Woolworths. It looks like they're cutting out the middleman.
Oh, and the tissues. I need a tissue. I'm so sorry. I need to. Can we hold hands and sing Agadu?
Okay. I can see the whole room from here now, can't I? Because I can peer all the way around it with my head inside.
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to take a really deep breath because it's not like I've got a cummerbund to split, and I'm going to try and step through the hole through the doorway into the room.
You're just walking through.
Yep.
You walk through into the room, and you walk straight back out into the main Woolworths again.
Damn it.
You were doing this all last week, man.
As I did this is my question. Since I was still holding onto the door frame, was I holding onto the door frame as I stepped out?
Yeah, but facing the other way, like you were peering into the main Woolworths again.
Stop fucking about, mate. Margaret's gone. Margaret's gone. And Hugh sinks all the way down to sploot out on the floor.
Oh, if he's splooting, that's serious.
I'm actually going to take a hint from that. Everything seems to be a problem as soon as I set foot over the threshold, but there's obviously a point you can get to where that isn't true. So I'm wondering if I take a running jump at it and try and clear the bit behind the doorway. So I'm going to try to vault Hugh, splooting as he is, and try and a splooting Hugh. I will vault the splooting Hugh. And try and clear the doorway at a bit of altitude, if you know what I mean. So I cover some distance inside the room.
I'm not going to make you roll for this. You're a wrestler, and this is something. The ability to run and jump over a prone body and jump is something that you do night in, night out. Of course, it's not a serious test, and you do leap the splutin hue almost in stride, and you ping off your foot and jump through the doorway, and you land, you roll, and you crash into the box of ears on the floor, and they spray up and splatter all over you. But you are inside the staff room.
Fantastic. I've achieved progress, I yell through an ear. And
Hello,
and pull
can you
myself
hear
to
me?
my feet.
Hugh, realizing that his last remaining partner in whatever this is no longer present, and he's now truly lost everything, including his swing ball. He sits up, he dries, and you've got to understand, he's like a 6'7", really big guy, crying like a baby, wipes his eyes, sniffs, nose on the back of the hand, pulls himself together, heroic music, there's fire in the background, he's ready to go. He's like, he puts his hand out and he says, "Give me the swing ball." The music swells.
Pick up the swing ball and hand it coil first through the doorway.
Nice. Hugh grabs it, takes a few steps back, hoists it over his shoulder like a pole vaulter, runs 3 steps forward, plants the spike into the floor, and tries to use the momentum to lift himself over whatever unseen barrier there is to land in the room beyond.
For that, I'm going to make you roll for it, though, because that's quite a skillful skill. I'm going to give you your normal dice. You get a nightmare dice.
Mm-hmm.
You can have your very long reach dice. I feel that will help in the bouncing. Would you say?
Yeah, and also I'd say looking like Paul Gambaccini is a real advantage because it's a boost of confidence, and it's like Paul Gambaccini, notoriously competent pole vaulter, and so it's like, if Gambaccini can do it, I can fucking do it.
I'm not going to give you Paul Gambaccini.
That would be my argument for having an extra die.
I'm not going to give you Gambaccini, but I'm going to give you one for dangerous because it's quite a stunt.
Oh,
so you get 4.
3, 4.
You get 4 plus a night. Well, 4 including a nightmare. So nightmare and 3.
Okay.
It does.
So the first, I'm rolling in roll 20, guys, and then the first dice is the danger, the frightened dice. So it's 3 5s and a 2.
3 5s and a 2. Well, it's matched to 5, so you're safe on that. You leap through perfectly. If the second highest that tells you like how well you did it, you bounce over perfectly. It's like you managed to plant the end of the swing ball where it wouldn't slide away. There's a moment where it slides, but you just readjust your angle slightly, and you land like you know the old 3-point superhero pose, on the crouch with one foot down. And
with his head down. Yeah.
And the head comes up, and you see.
Can the floor crack a little bit?
Yeah, when you land, absolutely, I'll allow that. And you look up to see Mick there on the ground, on the ground with the box it crashed into, which is full of socks. He's covered in socks all over him.
Nice. He looks up and he goes, "Top 40 countdown, number 1." Stop looking about, mate. We got work to do.
I'm going to stand up and brush the ears stroke socks off me.
You find that as you brush them off, they have in fact become socks again, because that's what the box says, socks.
Well, of course. But then if you had a box of severed human ears, you wouldn't write severed human ears on the side, would you? You might well write socks on the side.
Well, only if you're collecting other severed parts. I mean, fingers, toes, you don't want to confuse it all.
True.
Also, how big are the socks? Are they like normal adult socks, or are they kiddies like Ladybird brand socks?
They're the kiddies one that have the sort of the frilly top bits, like girls' school socks from primary school.
Margaret loves them. Can Hugh pick up a pair, please, from Margaret
You can, yes.
to go
But
with
of
his
course.
shoes?
Okay. Obviously, we're not seeing any sign of Margaret. And
Nope.
we're glancing around for Gary as well while we're checking for Margaret, but we can't see them at all.
You can't see them at all, no. No, you're both in here. I'll give you another quick rundown again. It's the main staff room. You have sort of a table with a couple of chairs for sort of, like little impromptu meetings, a little rest, grab a drink sort of bit. You've got the desk around the corner, which has the computer with a nice fat 90s screen. The power is on, and it's the screensaver with the little ball that bounces around the four sides of the screen. Classic, like a bubble. You've got the rack for the CCTV with the video plugged in, but that seems to be turned off. You've got the rack of boxes, a few that have fallen down, a socks box, a box of CDs, and a box of kids' toys have come down. The opposite wall has the doorway to the staff room. And then on the far wall, you've got the doorway that's going to lead down, you'd assume, to storerooms and, the loading bay and stuff like that.
Is there any kind of trail of debris, like things that have been knocked about and stuff on the way to, I don't know, wherever?
That is a really good question, Hugh. Could you?
Thanks.
Would you like a free look, or do you want me to look deeply but roll for it? Do you want to glimpse around?
I think look deeply and roll for it, because occult monsters notoriously smell like cheese that's just about to go off. And Hugh, with his fantastic dairy sense, would be able to pick up their scent. I feel like Gandalf sniffing the right direction in the goblin caves.
I'm going to give you one for free. I'm going to give you one for your nightmare dice. And I'm not. Yeah. I'm ignoring all of that.
I picked such terrible skills.
I'm going to give you one as a typist, because a typist. No, I can't give you one. I tried. No, just two, and one's a nightmare dice, please.
Look, as somebody's carrying Margaret away, there's a very good chance that her keys might be clacking and the rod's banging about helplessly.
Okay, I'll give you one for typist to see if there's any debris, Margaret-shaped debris. There we go. So that's 2 plus nightmare.
So we've got 3.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. 3D. Okay. Oh fuck! I got a 6 on my nightmare dice. 6, 3, 4.
Well, that's good. You've now got 2 nightmare dice because you're up to 4, and things are picking up speed for you.
I am excited. I got to be honest. I'm not entirely expecting you to survive tonight, but as long as he doesn't die with a broken heart, I'll be fine.
Or a broken typewriter.
Well, unfortunately for both
Don't
of you,
fucking dare, you prick.
As Hugh looks around, he sort of picks a pattern of where the boxes have fallen that do indeed seem to suggest downstairs, and he does notice a small metallic item glinting a few meters away from him towards the doorway.
He rushes towards the metallic object. Is it long and thin with a letter at the end, by any chance?
It does have a letter at the end. The letter is X. And you know that it's
monsters.
Margaret's. It is Margaret's X.
It's her favourite gate. It's the X for love, because she loves me. They've torn out her heart. I don't know what to do now. I was gonna write my fucking love letters on her, and now oh my god, I don't know what Margaret, no, Margaret. And he takes the socks that he just picked for her out of his pocket, and he reverently puts one on each hand and sobs into them. Oh Margaret. Oh God. Heartbroken, devastated.
That's an incredibly sad and weird sight. So I'm going to walk over and say, we have to keep it together because things aren't looking like they're supposed to look in here. And that means we need to try to be less weird so that I don't mistake you for something that needs smacking.
He looks up sharply and he's furious. You say my love isn't real, mate. You say my love is weird.
There are two doors, right? Through to the staff room and down to the loading bay.
Yes, so you got a door to the staff room and the door down. Yeah.
Okay. Is there any sense at all that one of them is more the focus of the chaos?
Probably downstairs, from what you can tell. There's the light. You know, the staff room has the little glass square window, like my little thin window here. Hello, everyone. It's like my little door here, but it's wider than my door because, of course, my door's narrow because of the cheap office. But it has the window, and that does appear to be the lights on in there, but the sign of anything is downstairs.
Okay. As there's a glass panel, I'll at least peer through that first if I can and see if I can see anything interesting in there.
Yeah, of course. You walk up to the doorway and you peer through the window, and as you look through to see if there's anything there, there's a large table, like 4 trestle tables put together with sort of 12 or so chairs kind of around it. A couple have been pushed aside. There's a big whiteboard at the end that's been used heavily, half wiped out, not properly, with some spider diagrams with synergy written on, and how to be successful.
Yeah,
with
but this is a high street Woolworth staff room, so they've all got like little penises on them and stuff, haven't they?
Oh, absolutely. Someone's done a noughts and crosses on a corner. There's a big CD player at one end with that sort of seems to be powered on but not making any noise. There's a nice potted
Can
plant.
I guess what CD is in there? Can I guess?
You can guess. Make a note of it. See if you're right. If you do go in there, we'll never know. And generally, it just looks like a really boring staff room. There's a worn-out sofa against one wall.
Okay.
And then suddenly, as you're looking through, there's a horrific decomposing face pings up an inch away from the glass, stares right back at you. It's your face, but like the nose is sliding off to one side, like one of the eyeballs is missing, and like pus is like oozing out of the gap. Like the teeth are like falling out as you look, and the hair is like thin and wiry. And so it goes again, just as it appears, it goes.
Okay. I'm going to sort of
that was horrifying.
Jerk my head back a little bit and go, okay, we just had that Jaws moment where the head suddenly appears in the hole in the boat. That was not good. There are no other exits to the staff room that I can see. It's basically one door in, one door out, right?
Correct.
Then I'm going to try and open it to at least clear it out before we move on to the next bit. So I'm going to open the door if I can.
You open the door and it opens into that room. And are you walking in or are you looking in from the doorway?
I'm going to try and walk in and hope that I don't find myself walking back out again.
You sort of take that tentative step in, checking that you're not going to stride back out again, but you do actually walk into the staff room.
Once inside, I'm going to take a little lap of it, check out anything I can see, because obviously if there's a table in the middle, there's stuff I wouldn't have been able to see because it'd be the other side of it, so to speak. I'm just going to take a little lap, not touching anything necessarily, but anything I can see. So if I can, in fact, look through the window of the Walkman and see what's in there, I'll take a note of what it is. But I'll just do a little lap around, you know?
Yeah, for sure. You sort of, as you walk around, there's a few sort of notebooks on the table. You know, as if there's been a bit of a meeting and people have taken some notes. And you can see that there's some scrawlings in some of them, which you sort of, I don't know if you can look at them directly on your walk through, but there's some sort of written bits. Are you wanting to look? Or are we carrying our laps rounds?
I'm gonna read whatever's visible in the notebooks and then continue my lap. And if nothing drives me from the room or grabs my attention, I may come back and leaf through them later.
The first one you come to, it's the first page of the notebook. You know, the front page has been pulled up and it's underneath it. It's sort of a flip chart thing, and you look in, and the page is full of writing. Well, I say full of writing. It's full of one word. It just says "smile" over again, over and over and over again. 10 times on a line, all the way down. Every eye has the dot is a little love heart, and they're all written in purple, like purple biro.
It's the purple biro that
Gary's
makes it really creepy.
Gary's.
Okay. I'm going to leave that for the moment and go and continue my walk, check the Walkman out, see if I can see what the song is. And then if nothing leaps out to interrupt me, I'm going to go back and see if other pages are similarly adorned with purple biro, words of smile, and little hearts over the eyes.
You walk to the corner, and as you sort of look in to see what disc is sort of spinning away, you know, it's ready to go. You sort of lean in to look at it, and suddenly, without you touching it, the play button starts, and the song has been paused, and it suddenly launches in "C'est la vie, who you will, and do what you know." Really, really loud, out of nowhere. Bewitched Sailor V hammers out like to ear
Oh,
bleeding.
the double denim, the horror!
Out of nowhere, the Irish dancing.
Kill it with fire.
Incredibly loud, and as you sort of you sort of reach your hands to your ears to sort of cover the volume, and everything spins in your head, and like it infects your mind. You're getting visions of Irish girls dancing in double denim to Irish dancing, and then you're like seeing visions of like them dancing, but every body is your face, and you look around, and the girls dancing next to you as well, your face in the double denim, and then it's like the denim trousers, but your oiled top and like your muscular frame, but still dancing in that sort of weird green and daisy world. And the Sailor V sort of speeds up and it slows down and goes all discordant, and then the world spins and you crash to the ground like you faint out. Which
I am so doing a Fiddy Friday starting with this song this week. You have no idea what kind of worms you've opened there, Morris.
And as Mick crashes to the ground, Hugh, you hear the crash. You hear the loud noise, the music, and you hear the Mick crash. He's a big lad, and you hear him crashing to the ground.
Hugh is unsurprisingly a secret fan of Bewitched, and by the way, that's Bewitched with a little star above the eye, not a heart. And he instantly knows that the only way to get in that room safely is to do the little Irish dance breakdown that they do in the middle of one of their songs on top of the pops. So he puts his hands down by his side, carries his swing ball very, very stiffly, and sort of fake Irish dances all the way into the staff room until he gets to Mick's side.
Whether it was needed or not, you'll never know. But if it was needed, it was successful, and you have made it to Mick's side.
And then he kneels down at Mick's side and whispers into his ear, "What are you like now?"
Am I conscious at this point? And please say no.
For you, everything is an inky blackness. All you can do is you can kind of hear the song, but it's like it's playing on a cassette tape and it's warped and it's sort of speeding up and slowing down a bit and it's discordant.
Oh, I thought that was how it always sounded. Maybe that's just me.
It's the
Okay.
remix.
Then I'm going to do nothing while I'm conscious.
Hugh realizes that this is a pivotal moment, and if he's going to find his way to saving Margaret, he can't possibly do it alone. He needs his unlikely sidekick, the wrestler. He's unconscious and prone. So what he does is he tries to pick him up and hoist him onto his shoulders, very much like a wrestler would do when he's about to throw an unconscious opponent off over his head onto the mat. Excuse me. But he's just going to try and hoist him up and carry him on his shoulders and then river dance out of the room, leaving the swing ball behind. It's like Mick or the swing ball at this point, and he chooses Mick.
Oh, that is very selfless, I'd say. I'm going to allow it. Hugh, well, we talked about it before. Hugh is a big gentleman at 6'7". He's got so I'll allow. You're just carrying him. You're not trying to do anything exciting about it. So
Not doing anything yet. Just carrying him over the shoulders in both hands. That's all.
Absolutely fine. So you dump the swing ball in there and you hoist Mick up.
Yeah.
And you carry him through the door. And as you sort of get through the door, suddenly the second you get through the door, the music stops. The lights all go off and the door slams shut behind you.
And Hugh whispers under his breath, "Your first signal was better anyway, pricks." And then heads towards the stairs.
It's as you sort of walk across that room.
It's just true. It was.
As you walk across the room with Mick in your arms, Mick's eyes flicker open and he looks up and he can see Hugh's face, but it's kind of glowing like the face of an angel.
Hugh goes down onto one knee, hoists Mick over his shoulders so that he's lying across his lap in his arms, and smooths the hair back from his face, and looks deeply into his eyes and goes, "It's all right, Mick. I got you. You're safe now."
Mick, you're back in the game. You are conscious again.
I'm going to see this. Look, I was like, thanks. That was horrific.
"It's all right, mate. Don't worry about it. For a moment, you were bewitched." And then he pauses for a moment.
Mickey's going to try to grab himself up to his feet. Are we at the top of those stairs going down?
Yeah, you're right by that doorway, by the top of the stairs. Yeah.
Okay.
By the way, I call this position the Buffy cling, and I say that because Ben is an enormous fan of Buffy and knows exactly what I'm talking about.
I do know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes, a huge Buffy fan. So, yes, the we're going. I mean, I'm literally going to glance across at Hugh and say, "So, downstairs."
"Yeah, we got her. Margaret needs us. And what was that prick called? Fucking Gary? Yeah, he needs us as well."
Sure, if there's time.
Ewan, we love you so much.
We will start to pick our way down the stairs. I guess as the wrestler, I will go first in case we take a tumble. Since I have this ability to
Hugh stops at the top of the stairs. Well, Hugh stops and throws his arms out so you can't get past him. And then he's like, "Go and get the pick-a-mix, mate." And nods over his shoulder at one of the pick-a-mix, restock boxes.
All right. I will reach over. Can I find some fizzy cola bottles?
Um,
I mean, we'll never get you out of here.
roll 1d6 for me, please.
Just one without my sanity die, whatever it is.
Unless not getting fizzy cola bottles will turn you quite insane, then no. Just roll 1d6, please.
No, it'll be. I'll be over it. I promise. Yeah. That's a 4.
I can give you cola cubes.
That'll do. Cola cubes are
What
good.
kind of pervert are you? Jesus.
Cola cubes are great. They take forever.
But you're only interested in the sugar. You just want the fizzy bit.
Yeah, cola cubes. I never understood why they were red, to be honest, but it doesn't matter. So grab a bag full of those, and return to the stairs.
Hugh opens one end of the box, puts his hand in, like it's got that plastic bag that's folded over, and he puts his hand in and takes out a handful, and then starts dropping them on the floor, and looks over his shoulder and says, "Ansel and Gretel in it." And then he leaves a little trail of sweets in his wake.
I like your thinking. I do like your thinking. Okay, we are heading off down the stairs. Gingerly, I think it's fair to say.
They're not ginger, mate, they're red.
Everything I do is gingerly. So I'll take that first.
Oh, God, you're such a prick. Oh, God. Okay, sorry.
As you
I'm sorry, please don't kill me.
this part of the building is, although Woolworths has its own special decoratory charm, which isn't exactly it's not quite Gucci, let's put it that way. It's always quite sort of white walls and some laminate wood drawers and things like that. Now you're getting to the part where customers would never go. You know, they might go into the staff room to talk to the manager or whatever. But the wall inside here is brick. It's whitewashed brick, but it's very much brick. So you know you can feel that
Right.
texture under your hand as you go down. The lights, there are light bulbs, but they're no longer covered. You know, they're bare bulbs on the way down, and there is a railing on the way down to sort of help you. And the stairs are those metallic grid steps that you would go down.
Yep, I know the ones.
Ooh.
And so every time Hugh drops a cola cube, there's a little slight cling as it sort of lands, which is quite comforting as well, because you know you're leaving your trail. You know it's going down. A couple of times you sort of miss with the cling, and it sort of falls through the gap a little bit to the ground below. As you make your way down a few steps, you notice that as you look down, the mist is down there, and you only realise when you've taken a step or two into it. It's almost like going into you're like a swimming pool when you're going from like the kids' end and there's steps down. So it starts at your ankle, and before you know it, you've hit your groin, and it's a bit too cold, and you're like woohoo, and then you carry on. It's a bit like that. You're sort of coming down into the mist level, and you get 2 steps, so it's around your sort of shins by the time you realise that you're shin deep in quite thick mist.
Okay.
Well, this game has been super fun. Thanks so much for playing, guys.
Exits from this area, other than back up the stairs?
Only through the gift shop. Yeah. There is.
I love you so much. Yes.
There is a green fire exit sign pointing down, and you can see there is a doorway. You can't really see the doorway, but you can see the green glowing fire exit sign down the bottom of the stairs in the darker room below.
So we're not like in a loading bay type thing where you have the great big doors that they back the vans up against, and then you just are no directly into like a little warehouse.
You would imagine there will be a loading bay, but what you're entering into, as it looks, is a storeroom, which probably has a loading bay attached to it somewhere. But this is more a standard storeroom.
Okay.
You have been
Okay.
told. You have been told that you'll be met by the loading bay by the editor-in-chief, so you can only assume that there is one down there.
Hugh takes the plastic bag out of the box that's still got quite a lot of sweets in it, and he coils up one end and grips it in his hand, so he's got like a makeshift, I don't know what that thing would be called. It's just a big, like a soap on it in a sock, like they do in prison, but it's pick and mix in a plastic sleeve. And he's got that in one hand, and he starts gently twirling it, and then with his left hand he reaches forward and tries to take Mick's hand and says, "We should stick together, mate."
It's actually not a bad idea as we step into this mist area. Okay. Gonna hold hands and we're gonna march our way towards the green light, because that's got to be a good thing.
Cool. You march down a few stairs, sort of into the mist, and sort of the mist gets just sort of a couple more stairs down. It's into your sort of knees. Another couple of steps, it's to your thighs. And so at this point, you sort of hear like cheerful chirping behind you, and you sort of hear this, "Oh, Daddy, don't leave us, don't leave us!" And you sort of see the cola cubes that you've left are sort of happily and jauntily following after you. "Don't leave us. Let's go together."
Well, we're ignoring that.
Hugh has no way of processing that on any level.
No, we're ignoring
so
that.
He just blanks it. Yeah.
Pressing on towards the door, please.
Yeah.
I'm not going to make you roll a nightmare because this is the kind of thing you're pretty used to by now. Even.
Sorry, Luke. I feel like we reacted really badly to that one.
Well, as you continue stepping, they do start like balancing up behind you in like highs of 3 and 4 and 5, and trying to jump onto your sort of trouser leg, Hugh, and clamber up to try and get back into the box. So you're sort of, as you're sort of walking down, you've got cola cubes clambering up and trying to clamber back into the box in your hands.
He tugs on Mick's hand really quickly just to make him stop, and turns around to the cola cubes and says, really awkwardly, "Kids, Daddy's got to do a thing, and he'll be back in a minute. Just stay here so I know how to find you, will ya?"
Daddy, is this our new daddy? Daddy. They from what you can tell, they're looking at Mick and looking at the pair of you holding hands.
Yes, this is he's just a good friend. We like each other very much, but not in that way, I suppose. But it's a special kind of friendship. I just don't quite know where it's going, and I don't want to make any promises. That's all. Just wait here, kids. I'll explain it all later.
Daddy, where do babies come from?
Like people babies or cube babies?
and as you're just looking quite flummoxed, you suddenly hear one of the cola cubes scream out and go, "He's here! He's here!" And they all run up the stairs away from you really, really quickly.
Hugh goes, "Fuck." Starts twirling the plastic bag really quickly now over his shoulder.
Trying very hard to ignore all of this, pressing on towards the door.
Of course, as
Go,
you
before these fucking cubes catch up.
as you continue to walk, you sort of get to sort of chest height, and you're from the dim light. You can tell that you're a few steps now from the bottom, and you can judge that to get to the bottom, your head will be in the mist. You can see from where you are now that the room.
Can I just clarify something?
Yes, of course you can.
Given the weird circumstances, is that dim as in not very clever or not very bright?
That they can mean the same thing.
Given that the cola cubes just assumed parentage, and I had a whole relationship thing. So, what kind of light is it we're dealing with?
Why don't you ask the light?
No. Thanks.
Sure.
Hugh is holding Mick's hand really tightly now, and he's trembling slightly.
So we two gorillas in the mist, still holding hands, pressing on towards the door, hopefully getting closer.
Hugh starts weeping. Digit, no, Digit.
As you sort of, you can see downstairs that it is a storeroom. There's a couple of doorways in, a couple that might look bigger that might go through to the loading bay, but you've also got this emergency exit door, of course. And as you get to the chest height, you see a figure, the figure of Gary Gutman, swimming past you doing breaststroke, and he stops and looks at you two, says, "Come on in, the mist is fine," and sort of breaststrokes past you and through the wall and sort of dissipates.
Through the wall.
Through the wall.
Gary didn't used to be able to do that.
Freak.
Yeah, you're not wrong. Okay. We're supposed to be aiming for the loading bay. If there are those doors that look a bit more industrial and might lead to it, can we change course and head for those?
If you're both happy to.
She's fine with that. Yeah.
I mean, this is an emergency, and that is an emergency exit, but I can't shake the feeling that there may be more to see here before we try it.
There might be more to see, but I'm not sure it's stuff that's going to be helpful to see. I think the distinction is important.
So you want emergency exit instead? Okay. All right. Change course back to the green door, please. Or the green lit door.
Fantastic. As you sort of continue down, your head goes under the mist, and you're well and truly both within the mist, making sure you're holding hands very tightly. There are points where it feels
wait. Can I pull him back to the bottom step? Yeah. And then I'll be like, "I got an idea, mate. Mick, quick, get on my shoulders." And then you could be above the mist, and you can steer me using my ears, and then I'll know which way you want me to go. And it won't matter if I go slightly fucking mad. Yes, exactly. Even though it's a slightly later film, but yes, he wants to give Mick a piggyback so that Mick is clear of the mist and can guide them both to safety.
Would the space be tall enough for us to do that?
Yes.
Okay, then let's give it a shot.
Your head would be skimming the roof. Again, we're in the storeroom now, so there's like those silvery tube pipes.
Yep.
There'll be times where you need to duck down a bit and like put your hands on them to like ease your way through and under, because they're a bit crisscrossy. But
gotcha.
And it's the 90s, so there's a lot of crisscross then, but you're sort of easing your way through. Yeah.
Mark, Daddy, we're gonna make a wiggity whack. That one, right?
Yeah.
I know my 90s stuff.
I think
Sorry.
Mick looks down and suddenly realises his trousers are on back to front for no reason at all.
Jump!
Okay, I'm going to give directions towards the emergency exit door.
Okay. Mick, you're on the.
And hope that I can keep my sanity long enough to steer us correctly, so we don't get lost. Or
Cool. This is a little bit Crystal Maze, isn't it?
it is a bit, yeah.
It's the 90s.
Yeah.
So Hugh, you with Mick on your shoulders, you take one step forwards down off the bottom step, and you are fully submerged in the mist. You can see.
But then does Mick take 2 steps back? We go together because opposites attract, and you know.
it feels fitting.
Just a matter of fact.
The mist, Hugh, it smells like semi-skim milk that's just on the turn. You know, you put it in the tea if you needed to, but the tea wouldn't taste quite right.
Oh, I smell it. It's like 4 hours left, and that's if it's cold. Oh, I smell it, mate. I can smell it, and that's all Hugh can say now is that he can smell it. He can smell it.
For you, Mick, outside of the mist, it feels to you that everything that Hugh appears to be speaking Japanese. As a wrestler, you know a little
really
bit.
think so.
Because because you know you've watched you've got old videos of like Japanese in indie wrestling and so that. So you know a bit, but you don't know anything Japanese to do with milk. But you can tell it's Japanese.
No, probably not.
But you can tell it's Japanese.
I also probably don't know the Japanese for Gary, so you know it's not going to be that much help.
It's easy. It's Gary-san like that.
Gary-you. We will try if we can to steer towards the door. And I'm guessing from up here I won't actually be able to do anything with the door when I get there, except peer at the wall above it. But
yeah, don't worry then, mate. I'm the wing.
You will be in a
wings.
position to try to open it.
Fantastic. As you walk towards it, Hugh, what you see is you were in a wide open room, but suddenly Margaret appears in front of you, and but Margaret, she stood on her 2 little feet. She's wearing her shoes and little frilly socks, and she gazes up at you.
I've still got the socks on my hands, right?
Yeah, she's also wearing the socks.
Nice.
And she gazes up at you, and she says, "Hugh,
Margaret, my love, how are you doing? I love you so much.
Do you have a kiss for me, Hugh?"
I mean, this is a weird place to have our first kiss, but I guess if you need one.
Don't go, Hugh. Don't leave me. Don't leave me, Hugh.
I never would, love. I never would.
And as you sort of keep walking, you sort of walk through her, and she sort of fades away around you. You know, like becomes one with the mist again as you sort of walk through.
It's as well you ended that because I was about to break into a Billy Joel. It's good for you.
I have my spider sense on tonight of when to break from you. Let's put it that way. It's becoming more and more often as the evening is going on. As you continue walking, there's suddenly like it's like 20 Margarets, like 10 on each side, all rabbiting at once in slightly different voices. Like, "Don't leave us, Hugh! Don't leave us, Hugh! Where are you going? Where are you going? Do you prefer Mick to me? Where are you going? Don't take him."
Jesus, Margaret, you can fucking talk, can't you, love?
I always have been able to.
Hey, that's
Hugh.
really. No,
You just never asked.
It's been like, love, come on. It's been 14 years and you're clacky. But I'll come back for you. I've got to get this chump to safety and then I'll come back, I promise.
If you go through the door, you will never come back.
Listen, wherever you go, whatever you do, I'll be right there waiting for you. Whatever it takes. How my heart breaks. I'll be out there waiting for you.
You sort of they sort of fade away into the mist around you, and you make it to the emergency exit doorway. You just hear
God, I'm thankful for that.
you sort of hear Margaret's just sobbing, but you can't see her. You can just sort of hear the sobbing. And Mick's done a good job at tugging on your ears to get you to the right place.
And it's just as well because Bobby Brown was up next.
Phew! And we've escaped the fate worse than death.
I'm going to yell down, open the door.
Is Hugh actually looking at a door in his mind, or is it like, I don't know, a puppy or a castle or a massive painting of Bruce Forsyth? What's happening?
There is a door, and it's got like the crash bar to get out from, an emergency exit crash bar.
Oh, push bar to exit.
Yeah.
I named a budgie push bar to exit, and that's even true. So there you go. And that's not without. Anyway, yeah.
So do I see Hugh actually pushing the bar to open the door?
Well, you see Hugh licking the door. Hugh licks door.
Hugh licks door. It tastes like Paul Gambaccini.
Paul Gambaccini. He continues to lick the door. I mean, that's a great taste.
That's it.
Transatlantic machismo. Yeah.
Whereas all Mick can see is his typist friend licking a door.
Okay.
And muttering Japanese phrases.
If the door's kind of, as they often are, sort of between waist and chest height, that kind of thing. So when you hit them, they get pushed open by your body.
Yep.
There's a fighting chance I might be able to push that door with my foot if I'm sitting piggyback.
Yep. I'll allow it. You can attempt it. Can you have... You've got one nightmare dice. You've got one dice of your own. I'll give you the wrestling dice as well. And I'll give you dangerous because it's an athletic thing to do. So that's 4 dice, including one of them is nightmare.
4 dice, including the brown one for danger. Yeah.
Yep. Okay.
That's a 1, a 3, a 4, and a 6. And the brown die is the 1.
Oh, that's worked out perfectly.
Good job.
You do manage to kick the door, and the door does swing open. Just as Hugh is mid-lick, so it suddenly moves away from him. And you see what can only be seen as an alleyway beyond it.
I assume there's mist in the alleyway as well.
Yeah, it's slightly less thick, I guess. But it's still at a similar height.
We will take firm control of the rain ears, whatever you want to call them, and encourage Hugh to step forward as I crouch down low over his shoulder to obviously not get unseated by the top of the door.
Very wise you said that. I don't know if you've been watching one of the latest series of What We Do in the Shadows, but they get this djinn, like an evil genie type thing to fulfill wishes. But they get paranoid that he's gonna fulfill it, but in a bad way, a trickstery way. And I was just about to have you go face first into the wall if you hadn't have ducked down. Just like a djinn. I was channeling my inner djinn, but luckily you ducked down, so you avoided such a fate. Well done, you.
You are a perky monkey tonight, aren't you?
Oh, yeah. Mix outsmarted me.
Perky monkey.
The two of you walk out into the alleyway, and it's dark out there, and it's very dark. But as you stand in that alleyway, the mist gets brighter and brighter around you, and you sort of start hearing this haunting music. It's sort of Irishy and it's a bit poppy. And it seems to be sung by these girls and there's this weird
unnecessarily perky Irish girls.
And you get this vision again of the two of you dancing around with Margaret as well, and Gary dancing around in double denim in a green field with daisies. And suddenly it's loud, c'est la vie, and both of you, your eyes both ping open, and you wake up in the staff room with the CD player playing, where you've both been unconscious for the last few minutes.
Oh, God.
Oh, this is Ben's favourite trope.
And this
He
is where
loves this.
and this is where
He
we're
loves
taking
the time reverse.
and this is where we're taking a break to give Ben a
Perfect.
minute to hate it.
To recover.
Amazing.
Thank you, Luke.
Right, we'll be back in 5. Go to the loo, do whatever you need to do, and let's be back to annoy Benson more. Don't go anywhere, everyone. See you in a few.
Do not pass this point. Just how you can leave well alone. What you can't change in low resolution. Memory dilutes, screen cuts to fade. Where have you gone? When I thought you had gone, never find out what took you away. Mind switches its gears, can't find a way out. You're drowning in the fear. Where have you gone? Where have you gone? Where have you gone? Where have you Can't find a way out, you're drowning in the fear. Where have you gone? Where have you gone? Where have you gone? Where have you gone? Do not pass this point. Just how you can leave well alone. What you can't change in low resolution. Memory dilutes, screen cuts to fade. Where have you gone? When I thought you had gone, never find out what took you away. Mind switches its gears, can't find a way out, you're drowning in the fear. Where have you gone? Where have you gone?
Hello, everyone. We're back. I'm back. Mick's back. Hugh is back. Gary Gutman is missing, presumed. Who knows what? But maybe we'll find him, or maybe we just
Well,
want to try
at
and
this
escape.
point, he's assuming that he's nicked off and is eloping with Margaret.
Could well be true.
Where were we? Oh, yes. Our heroes had thought they'd escaped the Woolworths, having gone through the storeroom, through the emergency exit. But as Bewitched's finest song of the era rang back in their ears, they woke again in the staff room from unconsciousness. The two of them laid on the floor, still holding hands, interestingly, with C'est la vie blaring out of the speaker. And this is where we rejoin our, I'm going to call them heroes.
It's a stretch.
You're going to really extend the meaning of that word. Hugh looks about in confusion and then clasps Mick's hand in both of his hands and just pulls them closer for a minute, and steadies himself using Mick as a rock.
Okay. This was a mistake. Downstairs?
Hugh looks really confused. That wasn't a question, that was just a word.
Okay. Hauling myself up, and I am going to take a quick look at that notebook again, please, and turn over the pages and find out if the word smile is repeated on multiple pages.
As you so that notebook that has a smile, like I said, there's a few notebooks. The one that has smile, you go back and the front page is still the same as you saw, that purple biro smile with the eye, the love heart, and you sort of you flick through, and halfway through the flicking through, as you flick through briefly, you see flick, smile, 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 and again that face that you saw in the window is suddenly like printed on one of the pages, but as you're flicking through, as soon as you see it, you flick past it again and you're back to smile, 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 smile.
Okay. It's probably worth flicking through the other notebooks as well. I'm basically looking for anything where there is some coherent stuff and then a break to random ramblings.
Okay.
And I'm looking for the last few things that were written down that might be coherent.
Very good, very good. There is one. There is one that does appear to be quite coherent, which is the next one you come to. The first couple of pages seem to be very much notes on briefing notes. So there's a date. There's one that's a few days ago, and it appears to be a very studious member of the staff who is sort of writing all the notes. Like if anyone asks where or why we're still running with the summer, the summer equipment and not autumn, then please refer them to whoever, name. It's not important, that sort of thing. If so and so is short, go and speak to so and so. These are the release dates for any singles that people might be asking for. Someone's actually caring about their work. And you sort of flick onto the next page, and it's the next day, and it's similar things, and the next day. But then yesterday, it just goes to smile.
Okay. All right. I'm going to point out to Hugh that means there were already some of the slightly odd things. They were aware that customers might be asking questions before it went to complete insanity. I don't know if that's relevant, but it could be interesting. All right. I'm going to try and make my way out and get to the top of those stairs again.
Okay. Hugh, you going with?
Yeah, Hugh. Hugh starts singing "Kiss from a Rose" by Seal, and is just weeping constantly now. He's just crying all the time. But he dutifully follows Mick out. And he looks longingly at the pick and mix, and then remembers the very creepy conversation he had with the cola squares, and sort of just backs off, leaves them alone.
Yeah, we won't try the cola cubes again this time, I don't think. But they seemed argumentative. So I'm going to glance down the stairs. Does it look like we, I don't know, hallucinated, like there's thick mist at the bottom of the stairs?
There is mist. as there was last time. It feels a bit different. It feels different. I don't know if the colour's different or the vibe's different or the thickness is different, but something is quite different to the last time. But it's similar, and it looks, from what you can see, it looks
Does
similar.
it
You see that glowing green light, for the fire escape.
does it feel more like the mist that you get on a Top of the Pops episode, like when Fairground Attraction are singing? Or is it more like a Susie and the Banshees kind of mist?
It's much more Susie and the Banshees kind of mist.
I mean, yes, but also, oh God.
Mick, as you walk towards the stairs, you accidentally stand on something that sort of crunches slightly under your foot. It's metallic. It's long with a sort of a metallic sort of circle at one end that has a letter on it, which Hugh sees as you crunch into it.
I'm going to bend down and pick it up. And am I right in thinking it's Margaret droppings?
It is a Margaret dropping. It's
Wow.
I know.
Ben, that was unnecessary.
It's a pentagram. It's her pentagram key.
Oh, good. I mean, she kept that right next to her Scorpio key, so
I'm going to show this to Hugh and say, pentagram key? That seems
look, mate,
unusual.
I had it specially made back in '92. It's because I was writing a lot about Ozzy Osbourne and that fella that did that other song that nobody liked, and there was a lot of devil worshipping going on, and I thought it would be like a inclusive way to talk to the youth,
Yeah.
As far as he's concerned, she has always had a whole entire row of occult keys.
It's what makes her so
people,
unique.
we're on a four.
Okay, I'm clearly of the opinion that Hugh, that was the sound of Hugh's last hinge snapping. So
no, I have further hinges. I have more to offer. When I hit 5, for example, there are other ways to go.
So I'm going to say, okay, stay close, and I'm going to set off down the stairs.
Hugh wraps his arms. He stands immediately behind, and wraps his arms around Nick's waist and chest. So like his head is like on the back of Mick's neck, and he's breathing quite heavily now.
A little less close,
but
just a smidgen less close.
Oh, all right, mate. Sorry, backs off just a wee bit. Still holding him around the waist.
Having had this sort of hallucinatory experience before of thinking we'd gone down there. Obviously, I have no idea if what we see down there is going to line up with what we imagined we would see if we were down there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But one thing that has occurred is that I'm a little bit worried about the length of time we spend in the mist. Things seem to get worse and more disorienting. So remember how I said last time I'm going to take everything very slowly and gingerly?
Mm.
Well, this time I'm going to try to walk down the stairs relatively briskly, get to the point where I can see around underneath and get lie of the land and work out what I'm dealing with. And then I'm planning to press on relatively quickly in the hope that I'll be less affected in a shorter time, if that makes sense.
That does make sense. That makes some sense. Hugh, are you just planning to cling on like a human backpack?
Well, what Hugh's going to do is he's gonna twirl his index fingers in mixed belt loops, and sort of bend down a bit with his head level, in effect forming a classic pantomime horse position, and just follow Mick along as he goes, being the back end of the naked pantomime horse. And he's going to start singing Wet, Wet, Wet songs.
Okay.
Look. Mick's sanity is low enough as it is. Don't make it worse.
I feel it in my fingers and I feel it in my toes, mate.
if your fingers
Mist
are wrapped
is all
around his
around
back,
us, and so the feeling grows.
I think if you feel Mick in your fingers, the way your fingers are wrapped around him.
Well,
as the two of you head
I
down the
mean-
stairs relatively quickly, then I guess with Hugh trotting along behind Mick, you sort of get down the first few steps. You're up to your knees in the mist a lot quicker than you were before. Hugh, because his face is downwards, I guess, or somewhat in the horse, his face hits the mist quicker, and immediately he sees a small pile of cola cubes. They've just been left on the side, unmoving.
jump on, kids.
There's no response. They're cola cubes. Why are you talking to cola cubes like they're children?
Because he's convinced they're his kids. He's like, come on, kids, get on while there's still time. I'll get you out of here. I'm not going to leave you behind twice.
Just stay with me, Hugh. Stay with me.
It's all right, mate. Keep going. I've got the kids.
All right. So can I see, is the layout the way I hallucinated it to be down there?
It's exactly the same down there.
Okay. So we've got an emergency exit door
Yeah, so
lit with a green light.
Yep, so you've got the stairs down, then you're across the room to the emergency exit door. You've got the way to there is quite clear. Along the sides, you've got a lot of storage racks, which wasn't part of your concern the first time down, of course, because you were very focused. With a load of stuff packed up. There's a pallet truck. There's that little thing with two wheels you can lift up to sort of lift stuff on to carry boxes around. It's dingy. There's some lights, but they're not doing what you'd expect the lights to do. You know, they're hitting about 30% what the lights should do down there. Slightly flickering, but mostly okay. And then to the left as you go down, there's a slightly dark area, but it seems to open out for a door to another area beyond.
Okay. So I can't see a sort of big shutter door that might be the loading bay door itself.
In this part of the room where you're standing, you cannot see such a thing.
Okay. I have no idea if this is going to make any difference at all, but I'm going to try and take a deep breath before I plunge into the thickness of the mist and move as swiftly as possible towards the door that isn't the emergency exit door, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. All right. You sort of you take that big breath and you sort of trot down the last few steps until you're into the mist quite quickly. You sort of delve in as if someone's swimming underwater. The second you go into the mist, Hugh's ears are filled with Enya, Orinoco Blues, Orinoco Flow.
Oh, we have a history with that
Sail
song.
away,
Fuck yeah.
sail away. And like fish are swimming around in the mist and sort of coming up and sort of waving at Hugh and saying hello. And
I think like
smiling.
that beautiful watercolor stop animation type of movie.
Yeah. It's all like all slowed down and weird. Yeah,
like in the
everything's-
video.
Like
Amazing.
every few seconds of your life has become a new animated, like stop motion screen.
Beautiful.
It's beautiful. It's really beautiful down in that mist. It's
Hugh starts to
lovely.
sing along. He tugs on one belt loop and lets go of the other one. And he starts singing, sail away, sail away, sail away. Let us go on Orinoco flow.
Okay.
Oh, mate, look, it's beautiful. I can see the fishes. It's so lovely.
Yeah. Okay. I'm literally just going to say I'm sorry. I'm not going to say anything. I'm going to keep holding my breath until I get to that door.
Sail away, sail away.
So you make your way through the space. You have to twist and turn a bit, so you see some racks which appear to be full of stock, but for you, they're nicely stowed away stock. You know, it's got with signs for garden wear, cameras, batteries, the usual. Hugh is seeing this magical world of like.
Yeah.
Some of the boxes have like tentacles playfully flicking out, you know, grabbing at some of the fish that go past.
Are there hermit crabs in like really beautiful shells anywhere?
Yeah, there's sort of some are coming out of the carrying holes of the boxes, and sort of the crabs are sort of coming out and scurrying around a bit and vanishing off. A moray eel reaches out of one, grabs something and like pulls it back into the box.
Can Hugh try to give a moray eel a high five like in the Bugs Bunny movie with Shaq and Eel? Can he do that?
The only way you can do that is by letting go of Mick altogether.
Yeah, why not? He's like, oh, Mick, you gotta see this camel, mate. And he wants to high five a moray eel and then catch a hermit crab and call him Steve.
Hugh wanders off from Mick and sort of reaches over to where the hermit crab is and goes to give a high five. As sort of the moray eel. The moray eel sort of smiles and reaches out its 7-fingered hand to give a big high five. And as Hugh leans in
It's
closer,
not like a little bit Mary Poppins now. Is this not like the Mary Poppins?
There are going to be some penguins doing something in a minute, aren't there? Yeah.
Diddly. Yeah, high fiving that moray eel is the only thing on Hugh's mind right now.
As he goes to high five the moray eel, he sort of hits hands with the moray eel, and the moray eel's face becomes this horrific skull. Like all the skin just rips away immediately, and you can see like it's elongated, like fang, the many teeth of the moray eel that sort of reach forward towards
poor Hugh.
Hugh sort of lets out a squeal. Rolls for a nightmare, please. 1d6.
Okay. I'm currently at a 4.
So
okay.
So only a 5 or 6 will make it worse.
1. Yeah.
But it's enough to send Hugh.
He looks at the skull and he goes, "Seen worse."
But in that first moment, Hugh had taken a sort of step back before recovering. He sort of banged back into Mick, and Mick was knocked forwards. Could you please roll Mick for me? 1, 2, 3 d6 for me, please. One of them, your nightmare.
3d6, including a nightmare. Okay. Nightmare is brown as always. Okie dokie. That's a 5, a 1, and a 4, and the brown one was the 5.
Right, your nightmare is going up. To 4. So
yeah.
Because what happens is, as Mick is sort of knocked forwards, he sort of manages to keep to his feet and doesn't cause himself any damage or anything. That doesn't go skittering. But it's enough for him to lose his breath holding, if that makes sense. And he sort of takes, in right in himself, he does take a gasp in and immediately realises what he's done. And that's why his momentary terror goes up, I guess.
Okay.
Hugh, in the moment of reconnection, in that bump as he recoils, he manages to grip the back of Mick's shirt, and it's just a reflexive fistful of cloth that he now has and is instinctively clinging onto now.
I'm going to try and reach the door if I can.
As Mick heads towards the door, it's like his the cloth of his clothes stretch out and droop around. It's like, and it sort of drapes around like it's a giant like a tablecloth. And for Hugh, like Mick's at one end of the table, and his top, his shirt, whatever is like the big tablecloth, and upon it there's a whole range of foods and cups and a wonderful cake in the middle.
Oh my God! It's the Beauty and the Beast. We're going to see that Lumiere. We do our best, put on something to the test. He's doing the Beauty and the Beast dancing cup scene with Angela Lansbury as the teapot. At least that's what Hugh's interpretation of the moment is.
As Hugh is tripping balls, basically, Mick is Mick's looking to that door through to whatever the next room is, and every step he takes, it's the scene in Jaws.
I'll be watching you.
Every move he makes. As he's getting closer, it's moving away. You know, the classic scene. It's the
trombone shot.
Exactly, the trombone shot is. Mick is tromboning right now. He's in full trombone mode, and that's sort of every step he takes, it's stretching out into the distance.
Okay, I'm going to yell at the door. Open!
The door doesn't speak English.
Oh, but Hugh suddenly speaks Japanese. Because he remembers that from the last time he was tripping balls. And in Japanese, he's like, "Open, please, if that's okay, door. And I will sing many praises on your behalf when I get to the temple."
The door looks at you suspiciously. No one has ever spoken to me in my native language before.
What can I tell you? I'm special, mate. I was destined to be here. I'm looking for my love, Margaret, and I'm here with my mate, Mick. And we've lost this prick, Gary, and we don't really care that much about that, but I feel like I'll tell you the whole thing. So, honestly, if you could just open and let us out, I'll say all kinds of nice things when I'm out of this pickle.
Oh, it's too late for that. I ate Margaret and Gary not long ago. They're doomed. There's no chance for them.
Oh, yeah?
They're part of...
If you ate Margaret, tell me, what did her ribbon taste like? What flavour? In Hugh's mind, it's that rolly bubblegum strip that you used to get. Do you remember that was rolled up in a coil and was only ever shit strawberry flavour?
Yep.
It's
That's what Margaret's ribbon tasted like.
It tastes like that strawberry rolly bubblegum flavour.
Hugh looks bereft. What did I ever do to you, mate? What did I ever do? Just a bloke standing here looking at a woman, asking her to love me.
But are you really standing here? And you look down, and your legs have become like a fish's tail, and you're floating.
I always wanted to be a mermaid. Hugh was thrilled. Oh, Margaret would love this. And he's tugging at Mick, like at the very long shirt that Mick is wearing, in the hope that he can like come and join him.
Mick's still seeing, he's trying to make his way towards the door, but he's still seeing it like recede in front of him.
Yes.
Don't worry about the door, mate. It's a complete prick.
I'm gonna look.
But it don't matter.
Up those silver insulated lagged pipes along the ceiling.
Yep.
I'm going to try and jump up to them and see if I can pull myself up on them. I know, obviously, there won't be space between them and the ceiling, but I can hang below them, perhaps.
It's a very good call. Just make sure, if you're going to do it, just don't grab the snakes. Grab the pipes, yeah?
Definitely the pipes.
Okay, make 1, 2, 3. 3 plus 2 nightmares, please. But don't
3 plus 2 nightmares.
But don't grab the snakes.
Okay, I don't have 2 brown dice, so the nightmares are going to be the grey ones with the pips.
Okay.
All right. Well, there's good news and bad news. I've got a 6, a 5, 2 4s, and a 2.
That's good.
But the 6 and the 5 are the nightmare dice.
Well,
No!
You're up to 5 nightmare now, Ben.
Oh,
But you do succeed it. You manage to jump up. There is a moment where you realise that your first grub you have clung onto a snake's tail, which is a terrifying moment for you. But you manage to pull from that onto what looks like safe ground, and you hoist yourself up until you're above the mist. The second you get out the mist, it's like the mist is sucked through that door, which is suddenly only 2 meters away from you.
right.
Where it looked like 100 meters away a second ago. It's suddenly stark focus. 2 meters away from you, the mist gets sucked out of that. The lights stop flickering, and in the shock, you sort of drop down to the ground, pretty much onto Hugh, and the two of you are there in an empty room. You have 2 legs and 2 arms each. It's just a standard storeroom with standard supplies, and it's just the two of you there.
Okay, so I can still see the emergency exit door, which is closed,
Yes.
and the door in front of me, which is now open.
It's open, but it's pitch black behind it.
This is why I
Is
brought
there
a torch.
any Margaret debris anywhere abouts?
On a quick look round, you can't see any Margaret debris.
And the key, like the arm with the pentagram at the end that he found earlier, is that still that, or is that now something else?
Oh, it's the letter A.
Oh. Hugh looks thoroughly confused, and a bit sad, really, because he was having a lovely time down under the sea. Yeah, he has no way of processing this experience, so he just sort of looks at Mick. Oh my God, Mick for guidance. Shrugs helplessly, gets ready to grab onto the belt loop again, extends a finger.
Knowing that, seeing there's no immediate mist around, gonna step forward up to the dark doorway to the next room and
Can
shine.
I just, as an out of character question, ask? Ben is on Nightmare 6 now, is that correct?
Nightmare 5.
5. Okay, that's fine. Cool.
So I'm going to step forward and shine the torch into the black doorway, because this can only cheer me up.
Of course. Shadowy, dark rooms and torches in mysterious tunnels. As you shine the torch in, the torch first catches the mist, which is sucking back almost, like if you ever watch a video of someone like breathing out smoke from their mouth, but like as if that's reverse, right?
Yep.
Back in, it's all like receding very quickly. There's a few things you notice. The first thing you notice is that the chains and the glimmering of what would be the loading bay door.
Okay.
Which is good. That's the torch shines on the metallic. You can quickly follow it down. This loading bay door is behind some stuff, though. The first thing you see from that is the unconscious body of Gary Gutman laid on the ground. Next to him, the case that sends Hugh's stomach a flitter. It is the slightly broken into, but mostly held together case of Margaret.
Mm-hmm.
And behind that, as sort of which the mist sort of recedes into, I guess, as your torch runs up, is like some kind of like Geiger-esque weird mishmash of like half living, half wired mass. Like you're looking up from floor to ceiling, almost like an alien nest. Like from the film Alien, like an alien nest almost. but with weird human parts connected of like growing human parts. There's like a half a body here, a head and shoulder with like one arm hanging out of like, and you can see there's figures that are in like Woolworths uniforms, but the uniforms aren't the uniform; they're part of the actual body.
Right.
You know, it's like the badge is part of the. From what you can see, it's like it's growing. You know, things are growing into it. So like the uniform is there, the shirt collar is part of the form, and it's like these hollow-faced growing things, and it's sort of all connected. So like the arms are strung up to the next bit, and at the core of it is this standing humanoid figure, which is fully wired into it as well, that appears to be resting. And the name badge on the shirt, which is of course part of the body, says manager. And it's suspended halfway up this mass between the floor and ceiling. And it's wrapped in like human arms and fingers and ears and legs and heads. And as your torch leads up to it, its eyes open and it looks down at you, Mick, and it says, "So you came then?" And that's where we're ending for this.
Only Mick can see this.
You can both see it, and that's where we're ending.
I think Gary's got this. We can leave. Gary's definitely on top of this. We should go.
I was going to reach for either imaginary or actual sugar cube, like the cola cubes, and Sigourney Weaver my way out of that.
I'll tell you what. I'll let you both do.
This is this.
Before you finish, you can both roll a nightmare.
This is. Oh, we both got to roll a nightmare.
Yeah.
Okay, that's 1d6, right?
Just as a finale. Yeah, you got to score more than you've got for it to go up.
We are fine with a 4.
You are fine with a 4.
Oh, I'm fine with a 2.
Then that is indeed where we finish for this evening. You face to face with this throbbing, pulsing, massive humanoid, whatever it is, and Gary Gutman.
Absolutely fantastic. Now, before we go, I do have to do a little bit of archaeology.
Yes.
Because when we started doing this, I realised that I actually had a Woolworths bag. This is an actual, original, authentic Woolworths bag.
Yes.
In my house. It's covered in dust. And I haven't got the slightest idea what's in it. I was sufficiently curious. I thought, you know what? I'll open it live on screen.
Can we guess what's in it?
Yeah, by all means.
A Bewitched single.
Can we see the shape of it?
Sorry?
I think it's Take That and some of those notelets that you don't really see anymore.
It could be.
Is it pick and mix?
It doesn't feel like it. It feels sort of boxy shaped, roughly.
Oh, it's going to be something boring.
It could be.
It's not going to be what's his name? An Angus Deaton stand-up video, is it?
Oh Christ!
Let's find out.
He was not shamed in the 90s, was he?
All right, let's find out. So,
this is quite exciting.
Oh no, it's now that's what I call music. 34.
Okay, what is it? Oh God. Okay, it isn't any of those things.
Is it
and I apologise.
Damn it!
This, as it turns out, is not that exciting.
Well, it is to us.
Is it Christmas decorations?
It is
Kazoo?
a set of double pack slimline DVD cases for putting recordable DVDs in.
Holy crap!
That's all it is.
That was a cracking anticlimax.
However, I do have the receipt, which tells me that
there's no. What year was it bought in?
this is what I'm trying to look. This is it. It was. This
94.
was bought quite late actually for a Woolworths. 2 minutes to 6 in the evening.
Reef.
On the 19th of October 2005.
Oh,
Wow.
that is late Woolworthsing in time
Yeah.
and year.
And according to the
That's a
receipt,
really urgent. They're literally locking the doors, and you're like, I have to have these
I
double
need
CD cases
Yeah.
now.
And then you never
Well-
use them. Like, why the rush?
well, to be fair, according to the receipt, I bought 2 5-packs. There's one full 5-pack and 4 left in another one in there. So obviously I did use them and then put them back in the
I mean, but
bag,
Well, they buy one get one free.
that
Is
is
that
a
why you got two?
significant number of adult films.
along
You
with
are
a
a
pack
cottage industry.
of apparently a 5-pack of Sony DVD-R blank discs,
Oh,
which is
so-
not here.
So you needed to rip something, and you wanted to put it in a pack to give to someone or to stash on your
So I
shelf?
obviously, it was back in the days when I was making my own movies a lot, so I probably had an urgent need to
I knew
burn a
it.
disc for someone.
I called it. I
Yeah,
said porn. I
his
was
filth.
there.
His blue days.
Nailed it.
I
Ben, you've lost my
probably needed
respect.
to burn a
I'm
copy
not
of
angry.
Dream or
I'm
something.
just disappointed and slightly aroused.
I just want to know where this disc is. That would be the
Yeah,
true.
I have
that'd be
no
the
idea
true
about that, I'm
treasure.
afraid. Can't help you there.
Some pawn shop in the Netherlands, probably.
Yeah. Anyway, after that anticlimactic result,
That was fantastic.
next
We
weekend,
survived.
next weekend we're planning to do Traveller on Friday.
Yep.
We don't know what we're doing on Saturday yet, do we?
We do know what we're doing.
Do we?
We're doing another thing that annoys you. It's Tony and Rudy.
Oh, that's fantastic. Oh, we love Tony and Rudy. Oh, that's
with
wonderful.
the Swinsome John. Excellent.
It's,
Yeah, absolutely fantastic. Oh, a bit of John. Wonderful. So we will have Traveller on Friday and
nice bit of John.
Legitimine on.
Well, I mean, honestly, now that we know your habits from the early noughties, I think John needs to be a little bit careful around you. I mean, he is a very pretty man, and I think you and a camera and John, that's not a savoury situation anymore, is it?
No, that's true. I'll make sure they're kept apart on the screen, if nothing else.
We know too much. Or just do it on OnlyFans. You'll be fine. Make a fortune.
What could possibly go wrong? Excellent. Right. Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you, Socks. Thank you, Luke. Thank you to Ewan as well for joining us briefly at the beginning. I'm sorry he wasn't able to stay with us. Had technical glitches.
But he did provide the atmosphere for the 1990s.
He did. You're absolutely right.
It felt very 90s while he was here.
And it was enormous fun. So thank you both, and thank you everybody who watched either live or on VOD.
Yeah, thanks guys.
It was enormous fun, and we'll come back to find out what the hell is going to happen with the evil monster made of Woolworths employees and possibly DVD slimline cases at the relevant moment next time.
Fantastic. I'll see you both soon. See you, everyone. Take care. See you well.
Thanks,
Cheers.
loves. Bye. Good night.
Bye. Love you. Bye.